Micron's fourth quarter earnings coming in moments ago. We're bringing in Dan Morgan now, Senior Portfolio Manager at Synovus Trust. Dan, it is always good to see you. So Micron reports, listen, initial reaction here, investors impressed. This stock is soaring about 11% in the after hours, Dan, but give us your initial response there. What did you make of the print?
Yeah, Josh, I mean, obviously you read the numbers before the break. It was like a beat on the fourth quarter of 24, and then everybody was really hanging their hat on the guidance, right, Josh and Julie? And it looks like a big beat on revenue in terms of expectations coming into this first quarter of 25. Not only that, earnings on adjusted basis were above expectations. So, you kind of hinted about this before, and, looking at these just highlight numbers, it does appear that they are beginning to see a real good benefit from HBM, which of course is the high bandwidth memory that's used with the AI chips. So we're coming out of a down cycle. We've had a couple good quarters, and now we're getting this AI top over the numbers. And it looks like they did gain from that. And we're going to get more color on the conference call. But just from the initial top line numbers, it looks really positive.
There has been a little bit of skepticism on that point recently about where we are in the cycle, about whether we're really coming out of it, about whether pricing was really going to improve. Because, we talk a lot about the HBMs, but most of what Micron sells is not that. It's other types of memory for other uses. So do you think this sort of puts some of those concerns to rest?
A good question, Julie, because if you look at their core markets, which is data center, smartphone, PCs. Smartphone and PCs aren't doing that great, right? They're just starting to get out of the hole. And you have other applications, industrial, auto, and so forth. And you're right, if you look at DRAM pricing in terms of spot pricing, it's just kind of leveled out. It was coming down, now it's just slowly going up slightly. But you're right, their main markets, which are, across the board, there's flash memory and there's DRAM chips, just in about everything, is still kind of muted, right? It's still trying to get going. So, if you were to take out this AI component in the data server space, we probably wouldn't be talking about it, right? Because it's just kind of just slowly unthawing. So you're right. Their core markets, you could still raise a question that, it may take a couple more quarters for that to get back on track.
Here we have the current stock market update from Micron Technology Incorporated, stock ticker MU. So we can see that Micron has a very strong earnings beat from yesterday. We're seeing the stock that's starting to jump in the early trading for today. We're getting a bit of two-way activity here because what we can see at the moment is a gap in the upward direction, very significant price gap, and we will get into the reasons why that is the case. But what we're seeing here is an upside price gap and then a bit of a retracement here. So ultimately what we have so far is a red candle. What we're looking at here is the daily price chart. So we're going to start with kind of a longer term view here because there are some very critical levels here that are being broken on this daily time frame. So, just to kind of understand what's going on here, I mean, there is this major price gap. We're seeing the bottom of the gap come in at roughly 195.90. And then at the moment, this price gap extends to roughly 110.35. So this is a substantial price gap here, and there's a lot of space here that will likely need to be filled. So not totally surprising here to be seeing, some profit taking here, most likely. You could even be seeing some short positions here, but I think that for the most part, this is probably some profit taking on some prior long positions here, because as you can see, what's going on here really is that we've broken above some prior resistance levels, which were developed during the August 22 trading session. And those resistance levels were very important for a few different reasons. But what we're seeing here is an upward price movement, and you might even have some profit taking orders that are parked in this region here, and that might be contributing to some of this downside price movement. So clearly it is a positive earnings beat here. The market reaction is positive as well. But this is sort of a good example to explain why it's not a good idea to just simply buy into an earnings number like this, because what you're probably going to start seeing here is a bit of a retracement to the downside. There's a large price gap here that does need to be filled, and then my assumption here would be that there are profit-taking orders from prior long positions that could have been established in this area. And people buying the stock around here, sort of these lower, kind of mid 80s. maybe set a profit-taking order, right around 110, somewhere around there, 110 to 115. So, not surprising to see, this upward price movement and then this sort of negative reaction here. But on balance, this is definitely a positive price movement. One other, major point here that should be explained is that, this prior price resistance zone right around 111. As I said, this was the August 22 high, but this was important for a few different reasons here. One is that this is let me get an arrow here. This is we came right into the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement of this major declining move here. So what we're looking at here is a price high from 157.50 roughly to right around $85 per share. And at the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement, that really gives us a price level right around 112.60. And as you can see here, the prices ultimately failed at 111. So, those levels are coming right into proximity with one another. This is not this is not an accident that we saw share prices to make this major decline, retrace right into that 38.2% fib retracement, and then fall lower once again. As we fell lower, as you can see here, what you've got is a major double bottom formation. So this is a major support zone here going forward. Ultimately, I would be viewing this as, really the central support zone for this stock now going forward. You're probably bullish as long as you're above 84.12 at this point, because this is a double bottom support zone. If you were to see a break below here, you'd probably see a major downside break with a lot of extended follow through to the downside. Of course, that's not how things are currently, because what we can see is this prior 111 level was a major Fibonacci retracement zone, and it was also a major daily exponential moving average area as well. Because as you can see here, the 50-day exponential moving average and the 100-day exponential moving average are crossing over right in the same region, right at that 38.2% Fibonacci retracement. So, seeing a failure here toward the end of August was not a big mystery. And this break today, what we're seeing in today's trading session, we have now broken through those levels. So, everything is not, roses and rainbows. I mean, we could start to see some declines here, sort of a post-reaction sell-off a little bit at these higher levels. But at some point, I think that this stock is going to base here. And now you have already broken through this critical 111, 112 resistance area. And that should set the stock on a path here to start to continue to move higher. So overall, this is a very good report, and it's a very important market reaction here, because we've got several important technical signals at the moment. We've got this double bottom support zone that has now really been confirmed here, and we now have a break of this major exponential, historical, and Fibonacci resistance level as well. So wait for the dust to settle a bit here. We could still see some downward movement in share prices. We could see some more of this price gap filled. But at some point here, relatively soon, I do expect the stock to start basing.
So let me ask you, Dan, because the conference call, starting shortly here, let's say you had the chance to ask CEO Sanjay Mehrotra a question or two. What would be top of mind for you?
Well, you know what, Josh, it's all going to be about HBM, right? It's all going to be how much of an effect. And I guarantee on the conference call, they're going to ask the same question over and over, 10 different ways, try to get them to say something a little bit different. But it's all going to be about how much of effect are you seeing from demand for the high memory chips as it relates to AI? We know a couple things, Josh and Julie. We know that those chips are currently coupled with NVIDIA's Hopper 200 and also the Grace Hopper 200. We know that NVIDIA has come out and announced that for the new Blackwell 100 chip that comes out this October, these are their AI chips, they will be coupling it with the high bandwidth memory coming from Micron Technology. So with these new chips coming out and the momentum continuing to gain, everyone's going to be trying to create a mosaic. How much of a positive effect are you getting from this? What are you seeing? There are some people that think that we'll do $2 in incremental earnings in fiscal year 25, all based on HBM, the pickup. So it's all going to be about how much of a positive effect are you getting this, like NVIDIA did back in that quarter last spring when they had that huge splash with that huge AI number in their data server segment.
Dan, I want to bring you some more headlines that are just coming out that may be from a media interview just talking about, or a media call. where Micron sees that HBM demand going. So the company apparently reportedly sees HBM DRAM market of over $25 billion in 2025, and that its HBM is sold out for this year and next, and that pricing is set. They're also saying they see unit growth in PCs in 2025. How does that comport with what you've been expecting?
Yeah, Julie, that's pretty much in line with what I was hoping for. So that would be perceived, I believe, as a very much of a positive. There was a lot of people who did think that the PC market would rebound a bit going into 25. It's been pretty lethargic ever since the big jump that we saw during COVID. Everybody, working from home, buying a new PC, laptop, and then it kind of dived down after that. And now we're starting to gradually kind of improve. So based on those headlines that you just gave me, it doesn't change I think right now in terms of bull case about Micron and what they're doing and this whole effect that we're getting from AI.
Our High Value Trading Strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market-beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.